Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. It's Cook Report. We're talking about tactical tips for SEO. Why did I make it such a hard title to say? I should have just said, we're talking about SEO. And apologies right now to all the Seahawks fans. This guy snuck in with a Viking shirt. I don't know why he thought that was appropriate, just because, okay? But anyway, seriously, we're talking about SEO. And that stands for search engine optimization. It's part of making your site be found when it's on the web. And for people that are selling goods and services, well, that's important. Oh, and Kevin says his audio won't be muted on the recording. And thank you for joining the room in the chat. And happy Tuesday to you too, chat members. So the first thing that we looked at, and I sent this link to Chris, is there's a website, SEOpresser.com, and in their blog, I just read this last evening, in fact, when I was gathering up information, and I thought, this is good. This link here, I'm going to put it in the chat in case you missed it the first time. That link there is what we're going on about, and it's the 7 SEO predictions for 2016. So if you're charged with the mission of providing search references for people's goods and services, then today's the day we're going to talk about things like Google's Rank Brain. This is a new thing that just has come out. So, just like we think of Google maybe as being the next Skynet for all those people that are paranoid, this latest brainchild from Google called Rank Brain is going to have a big impact on SEO in 2016. You haven't heard of it yet? That's understandable. It just came out, hot off the press. It's a machine learning artificial intelligence system that Google's developed. I know, it sounds like Skynet, just like the guy in the article wrote. So give that a look. This system is going to be a part of the most recent algorithm. That's those little code things they do that Google has called Hummingbird. So Rank Brain, that's something you want to learn about if you don't know already. It's going to be make an impact. The second thing that we talked about in the predictions for 2016 is Knowledge Graph. That's a panel that's displayed on the right side of Google's results page, you know, that search thing where all the ads usually are. So if you do a search for Barnes & Noble, there's going to be a panel over on the right-hand side that's going to shout about Barnes & Noble. It's going to be a little bit different search results. So wouldn't it be good if your company that you're working with had search results that comes up in that? Okay? So you want to have that panel available to you and your customer. Learn about that. It's going to Knowledge Graph is going to take the shape dictated by what you provide it and schema tags that you put on your website, and that's going to dictate how that goes. Number 3, Bing and DuckDuckGo are going to be more relevant. I know it's Bing, it's not Google. Bing's not going to go away. There's too many bucks behind it. Okay? Bing actually powers Yahoo right now. It's integrated with Siri, Facebook, and Hotmail. So Bing is, some people say it's a lot easier on the eye than Google is. I don't know. As far as DuckDuckGo going along, it's doing something that none of the other guys do. They don't share your data. When you go and do a search for a Phillips screwdriver with DuckDuckGo, the one that I personally use by default, your searches are not tracked and recorded and sold to somebody else. So then when you go to a Facebook page, you don't see a Phillips screwdriver ad because they don't know. Okay? Number 4. Hopefully at this point you understand the importance of content marketing, the article says. Now going to get anywhere without high quality content is going to be pretty hard to do. So work on your quality of your content because it's going to be a big deal. Having little short blog posts are often considered fluff, and they're not going to do as well as high quality 2,000-word dissertations. And the one that I've been harping all this year and what's going to come to pass is mobile optimization. Number one on your list of planning the website is it mobile ready. Mobile friendly websites are going to get a boost in ranking search. They've already done that in the algorithm search. It says here in this article, you go down to the mobile part, 1.75 billion smartphone users worldwide in 2014. Now, if you're coming up in local search, obviously you're not trying to track 1.75 billion people with a smartphone. But at the same time, you do want to target the people with a smartphone that are in your neighborhood. Number 6, Google authorship. Remember when we all rushed out to get our Google authorship set up? Well, it's not dead. It's not being used, but it's not buried. It was a big promise initially to have your Google Plus profile linked to your content in the search results, and you'll read all about that more in detail in this article. Now, the number 7, and this is kind of a duh, Google is going to keep updating its algorithm. No kidding. You mean the thing they've been doing for the last 10 years, they're going to keep doing it because they like it? Yeah, I think so too. Now, if you have questions, comments, considerations, let's open up the mics and speak away. Chris, you've been waiting there patiently, but that's as much of the blah, blah, blah I need to do, okay? And I know earlier before the show, we talked a little bit about open graph tags. If you're not familiar with open graph tags and putting your site onto Facebook, I copied a piece of code over to Chris earlier, and it basically identifies what the title of your web page is, what you want the default picture to be, so that when you upload that to Facebook, that's what's displayed, okay?
Oh.
But now, here's the gravy on the potatoes with that. There's a part of Facebook called developers.facebook.com where you can go into Facebook's cache, and the open graph image that you have cached there, you can remove it using their tools, update the code, and say the new open graph tag, the picture for summer on the website is going to be this. And if you don't go to developers.facebook.com and change it there, they're going to still show you the winter picture. So that's something to consider and know about too. And then, of course, all the things in SEO using the Google AdWords keyword search tool, that's important to get a handle on, and so forth and so on. If you really have an important mission to get done with SEO, do not under budget yourself to the point that you can't afford to hire somebody to do it. There are some trained professionals that do SEO, and that's all they do. And the reason it's all they do is they're damn good at doing it. Pardon my French. So let's talk about the end of Happy Tuesday, the Cook Report, tactical tips for SEO. Apologies for the Viking shirt. You want to give it another shameless plug there. And do join us again tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific time in Seattle area. And we're going to talk about the mind on Happy Wednesday. No telling what that's going to be. It's a wrap.